On Thursday, 9 Wall Street firms and big banks teamed up to rescue the Remington Arms Company from death. You may remember that Remington fell on hard times after one of its weapons was used in the Newtown, Connecticut school shooting massacre. Some of the families filed a lawsuit against Remington. Remington's sales fell off, especially after President Trump was elected and gun buyers no longer feared that the government would come take their guns. And lenders were hard to find. After Newtown, at least 30 banks reportedly turned Remington down. Then, after Parkland, Remington filed for bankruptcy. It looked like they were finished until Wall Street to the rescue. First, J.P. Chase and Franklin Advisors floated Remington a $75 million loan. Then 7 banks agreed to extend Remington a line of credit worth $193 million. Among the lenders were Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Deutsche Bank. It worked on Thursday. Remington emerged from bankruptcy. "It is morning in Remington country," Remington's CEO said. 24 hours later, a 17-year-old student carried a Remington 870 shotgun into his school in Santa Fe, Texas, and killed 10 people. And there was mourning in the entire country. When J.P. Chase first threw Remington a lifeline, we advised Chairman Jamie Dimon that getting into the gun business meant more than owning a gunmaker. It meant owning the consequences. As part of last week's deal, J.P. Chase agreed to forgive Remington's debt in return for an equity stake, partial ownership of the company. Last month, Bank of America made headlines when it said it would no longer lend to gun makers. The new loan to Remington, it said, had already been in the works. But banks are under pressure from both sides here. 3 weeks ago, a Republican commissioner on the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, ripped into Citigroup executives for their policy of keeping gun makers at arm's length. Republican Senator Mike Crapo, chairman of the Banking Committee, criticized both Citigroup and Bank of America for turning against gun makers. But when Wall Street is caught between the NRA and GOP on one side and dead children on the other, there can be no contest. That much should be clear to the banks and financial firms who just saved Remington. J.P. Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Deutsche Bank, Franklin Advisors, Regions Bank, Branch Banking and Trust, Fifth Third Bank, and Synovus Bank. Now, we do not know when Remington sold that shotgun used in Santa Fe, Texas, but those 9 financial firms who bailed out Remington the day before should understand now. You do not merely own a stake in the gun company you saved. Now you own the consequences.